In this video, we'll be learning how to use the bar chart object and the radar chart object. So we'll take some values that the learner will type in, and display that information in two different ways. Every time we update the data and click Submit, the charts will update to the new data. So we already have some objects here. We have our instructions and our labels. We also have several number input objects, which have already been labeled as orange input, apple input, pineapple input, and banana input. And then finally, we also have this submit button. So we'll start by adding two charts onto this page, because they're actually going to work in the same way. So we'll add a bar chart. So I'll select that and draw one over here on the right-hand side. And it comes with some data already in it. And if I want to edit that static data, I can by going over to the Properties and choosing the Data field. And then here I can see the sample data, and I can modify it by renaming the series or the category or the values. But in this video, we're going to look at how to set that data dynamically. So I don't really care what it says to begin with. I'm just going to turn off the Start Visible property, because I'm going to set the data and then show it. Similarly, we'll add a radar chart over here on the left-hand side. And again, I could change the starting data or the static data, but in this case, I'm just going to turn off the Start Visible property. So let's jump right into the actions. I know I want all of this to happen when they click the Submit button. So I'll grab this When Submit on Click Do Things. And these charts are going to receive their data in the form of a map. So we'll go to the Advanced tab and go to the Map category. And we just want this first Set Map block. So I'll grab that and place that in here. A map is a data structure that has a series of name and value pairs. In this case, we'll have the same structure. We'll have oranges as the name, and we'll have the number that we type in as a value. So I'll go ahead and name my map Charts. The key will be oranges, and the value will be whatever is typed into this number input object. So I'll select that object, go to the flyout panel for that object, and scroll down until I get to the orange input dot value. And we'll grab this block and we'll place it in here. From here, I can just duplicate this action. So I'll right-click and choose Duplicate. And I'll be setting a key of apples. And the value is going to be the apple input dot value. So whatever is typed into here. And I'll repeat that process for the other two. Right-click, duplicate. And now my map of charts should have oranges equals 0, apples equals 0, pineapples equals 0, and bananas equals 0. That is, until I start changing these values. So how do we get this data into our charts? Well, we select one of the chart objects. I'll start with my radar chart and use this set radar chart 1.data to something. So I'll place that in there. And I don't want to type in a value in here. Instead, I want to bring in my charts map. So to do that, I'll again go to the Advanced tab, go to the Map category, and scroll down until I find this Serialize Map to Text. That will basically take the map structure and flatten it down into a single string. So we'll grab this, put it in there, and of course I don't want to serialize map 1, I want this charts map. So I'll just type in here, charts. Finally, I'll tell my radar to show. So again, I'll select the flyout panel for the radar object, and then grab the show block and place that in here. So let's preview this. I'll fill in some data. And click Submit. And the data is shown, but it's all pretty small. And the reason for that is because the starting data for the radar is actually on a scale of 1 to 100. So to fix that, I need to go over to the properties for the radar object, and I can see that there's a max value of 100. So 1, 2, 3, and 5 are pretty small on a scale of 1 to 100. So I'll need to change this to a max of 5. The default data is not even shown here, but that's fine because it's not going to be shown until we update our data here. Maybe I really hate pineapples. And here we can see the radar chart is updated. And if I update the values in here, the chart is updated again. The bar chart is exactly the same. So I'll select the bar chart object, grab the set bar chart 1.data to something, and I'll place that in here. And I can just right-click and duplicate this serialize map block. And then, of course, I need to show it. So again, I'll go to the bar chart flyout panel and grab the show bar chart 1. And the bar chart doesn't have a max value, so when we preview this, it should just work. And both of these charts should update as we update our values.